Okay, I got. Hold on. This is actually work. And today's date. Today's date. So I should make sure every 20 seconds. Today's date. Oh, that's not me. Sorry, sorry, wrong. Hold on. Got to change the date. 27. Actual date. So I forgot to change. Yeah. Anyway, it goes in the trash. Hold on. It's solely blocking the thing. Geopolitics, basically. Shit. Yeah. Geopolitics. This fails. America's screwed. Oh. This one is what was the? Okay, sorry. Hopefully I did not see this one. Both May 5th. So past Ursula is on. Yeah, right before. Okay. Okay, here we go. This is future. This is future. No, wait. Wait. Yeah, wrong one. Science. This one. Right one. You're on May 5th, 2020. Andrew is on July 27, 2025. And I think you already know, right? Hi, Ursula. Past Ursula. You are on May 5th, 2025. It gives you a speech about choosing science for. Hopefully, I did not see this one, right? Otherwise, otherwise you'd be hearing me from two more or something.
As there is a big discussion,
Okay. So, let me make you look. So I have the Wall Street Journal, because past Ursula is worried about the trade stuff, right? Even I haven't seen this because friends for president, so I wouldn't remember if President Macron's there. So let me read you in the past. Let me read you the Wall Street Journal article that I have on my screen. President Trump said he reached a trade deal on Sunday with the European Union, avoiding a damaging trade war with the U.S. largest trading partner. So in your future, President Trump on April 2nd is going to put down a whole bunch of shares, and then the stock market is going to crash, but in the U.S. It's actually really, really valuable if you can actually have the European sovereign funds buy. It would be illegal, but I know I see this, but it would be good. You'd be able to extract money from the United States stock market into the European. It's not our fault. It's not Europeans' fault. The U.S. stock market is stupid, but anyway. So don't worry about the trade war. It doesn't look like we're going to have one. It's just going to be temporary, almost, So July 27, 2025, Sunday. President said he reached a trade agreement with Sunday with European Union, avoiding a damage trade war with U.S. largest partner, marking the biggest deal so far. He attempted to remake the global trading center through higher tariffs than U.S. trading for. It's all a negotiating tactic, basically. All the Trump said the U.S. would set a baseline tariff of 15% for European goods, including automobiles. He said the EU had agreed as part of the deal to buy $750 billion worth of energy products from the U.S. So $750 billion worth of energy products, you probably need it anyway, right? Liquid natural gas, right? Oil and liquid natural, because you have to diverse from Russia anyway. If the U.S. has the ability to give you that oil and that natural gas that you need, that you don't want from Russia anyway, that might actually be good. But make sure you negotiate for and invest an additional $600 billion in US. It's the same thing as Japan. In Japan, Japan got 15% for tariffs and $550 billion, like a national, like an investment fund basically. So basically, just promise of investment in the U.S., $600 billion investment. So, and I think I understand what he's trying to do, to try to save the U.S. dollar. Anyway, I think it's going to be great for both parties, Trump said, following the face-to-face talks on Sunday with European Commission President Ursula in Trump's golf course in Turnberry, Scotland. So, President Trump is meeting you halfway. He's flying to Scotland, so you don't have to meet him. You can fly to Scotland. So, yeah. Anyway, the European deal is the most consequential agreement Trump has so far announced. I don't know if I'm hearing something you want to. The EU is America's biggest regional trading partner with the bloc's 27 members, which share a common trade policy, and are considered together and its top resource of foreign investment. The two sides exchange more than $5 billion of goods and services every single day. Yeah. Today's deal creates certainty on uncertain times, von der Leyen said. She said the 15 level would apply for vast majority of EU exports, including cars, semiconductors, and pharmaceuticals. The 15% level is the best we could get. It's the same deal Japan got. Japan got 15% too. The term disclosed on Sunday suggests 15 less like new minimum tariff level for most American trading partners. Economists and trade analysts say the tariffs at levels will have an effect on companies' decisions that are expected to contribute higher prices for Americans, but won't stop global trade flows. So, and I think I know why we're doing this. We're taxing ourselves. The United States of America needs a way to raise taxation on American citizens without appearing as if we're raising taxes. So from this one, from the appearances, we're trying to get a good deal for America. What we're actually trying to do is try to raise taxes on Americans to try to lower inflation by taxing consumption. Tariffs tax consumption, and it's kind of a little bit of dishonest, but we're not trying to hurt Europe. We're trying to tax Americans to try to pay down our debt from Americans, and it's the only way we could do this with because if we don't pay down, America doesn't pay down our national debt, we are in trouble. So they are not at a level where global economy burns down, says Dimitri, a senior advisor to Aurora Macro Strategy. The European deal comes out of Florida's recent trade announcement. Trump said the past week that he reached a deal with Japan, another top U.S. trader, which based tariffs at 15%. Separate agreement sets Vietnam's tariff 20%. Okay, Vietnam's 20%, and 19% for Philippines and Indonesia, and that's the final deal that they actually reach. The thing that President Trump going to spend on April 2nd is not the final tariffs. So it's just negotiating tactic. The deal should ease anxieties that Trump's drive to lead to broader trade war will provide clarity for business. Gorbach, I don't know how to pronounce that guy's name, said the last disruption of business has been because of unpredictability of Trump's trade policy. While most don't want the tariff to rise at all, they would prefer steady 15% tariff compared with the lower rate that is less predictable. Because 15% is predictable, and all these people and the journals, and they're going to get super rich knowing that what this is going to happen. So anyway. Neither side published the text of the agreement on Sunday, not yet, so I will let you know when you all signed it. Although both presidents said that the U.S. baseline tariff will be 15%, they appear to have different interpretations of some of the deals. Okay, there we go, different interpretations. So there's still room for it. I will let you know when the final deal comes. But Trump indicated in the comments in the press that his global steels and aluminum tariff, which are at 50%, will remain unchanged. Von der Leyen said the two had agreed to a quota system will keep the tariff lower for some European metals export. So I have to say you're probably accurate. So, von der Leyen, you said that you agreed to a quota system that will keep the tariff lower for some unit exports to the U.S. So, yeah, that's probably true. So, after the final agreement is true, I will absolutely let you know what the actual final deal is going to be. So, because you're just doing it today, it's a framework and you haven't signed anything, It's July 27, 2025, 2:51 p.m. Trump said that the U.S. had agreed to open their countries to trade at zero tariff. This is the cool part. Von der Leyen said two had agreed to zero tariffs for certain strategic products, including aircrafts and their parts, certain chemicals, semiconductor equipment, and certain agricultural products. Among the others, the seems that will work to add more products to the list. So basically, you are going to have this 15% and continue to try to negotiate on a 0 tariff on whatever y'all can get. So once you have this 15%, you keep negotiating for 0 tariff for whatever you want, and you got aircraft and their parts and certain chemicals, so just don't stop negotiating, and that is actually so smart. That means it buys you all time to get better deals that you can. Whatever you can get a 0 tariff on certain products, like free trade for tit for tat, like 0 for cheese or 0 for American cheese or something like that, If you don't charge tariffs on something, we don't charge tariffs on something, then you can keep negotiating on whatever product you want for all the rest of the time, basically, Yeah, she said the EU will give the U.S. government better access to the block market. The deal provides a framework for lower tariffs to more products, address non-tariff barriers, and cooperate on economic security. We have to open up all of our European and I think it was say, a little bit, Details on other trade deals have been scant. The administration released no documentation claiming reached a deal with Philippines or Japan, or details about Indonesia last week remain incomplete. The UK framework release also left some big items unresolved, like steel tariffs. So even we're taking a long time. Trump might really put a 10% baseline on most European goods that are exported to the U.S., as well 25% tariff on auto industry, 15% tariff, steel, and so on. He had threatened to put 30% of the block if the deal wasn't reached by August 1st. A real thing he had threatened to put a 30% trade on the block if the deal wasn't reached by August 1st, a level that European countries would effectively shut down some trade flows. So 15% should not shut down trade, I hope. UK has lower tariffs. Has the lowest tariffs with 10%. Oh. UK actually has 10%. The UK has a 10% deal, and it looks like EU and Japan has a 15% deal. So, Trump was supposed to iron out detailed UK on his meeting with British President on Monday. Oh, tomorrow he's meeting with Keir Starmer. And it says the financial market welcomed the deal. The EU in recent days have finalized plans for retaliatory tariffs that would hit more than 100 billion in imports if talks have broken down. But it hasn't broken down. We're gonna be okay. I think. Some of the biggest outstanding talks are with Mexico, Canada, and China. So the second biggest thing, China is set to make Stockholm on Monday and Tuesday, when Tuesday expect to discussing their extended trade truce beyond the current 12 expiration. There's supposed to be a framework between China and the U.S. already. So both sides have pulled back at the highest level there, and although U.S. remain higher than they were before Trump took office, and U.S. deal with 50% deal is likely to be welcomed by financial markets because it will avert the risk of a second trade fight. So it's likely that on Monday, stock markets will jump on this news. So in Europe and in America, economic capitalist Andrew Cunningham said the tariff level will be lowered by U.S. growth measured by at this level about 0.3% GDP. This is it. With Germany being hit hard as well, France and Germany will be less affected. They're saying that this is going to hit GDP by 0.3. Maybe not. I don't know. Because economics would be wrong. The only thing that's right would be Andrew in the future telling you what the GDP was like. And what you projected, it's hard to see, right? These tariffs damage German auto exports, but are unlikely to knock blow to the sector because 15% on a Mercedes-Benz is not. If you can afford a Mercedes-Benz, you can afford that 15% extra, right? If you can afford a German luxury vehicle, Andrew has a Volkswagen ID4 electric car, by the way, if I haven't mentioned it. Andrew has a Volkswagen. I have Volkswagen electric car. European versus the 15% will like mostly a similar level to what they're current because they wouldn't communicate with duties. They wouldn't communicate with before return to office. Yeah, they would not be cumulative, so it would just be The USA was facing an effective tariff rate that's close to 50% of the 10 baseline would stack on top of U.S. pre-existing tariffs. So basically, because there were already U.S. tariffs and it's 10 baseline, so the 15% is basically exactly what. It's not cumulative. So 15% we're basically going to make sure that that's the most or something, U.S. Trade Commission, so he basically added 10% baseline tariff on top of that, whatever, so it's 15%. So EU Trade Commissioner Marco Sekevka has traveled to the U.S. 7 times since February and has told phone calls on what trade official. He's offered U.S. of certain products and said the bloc will buy tens of billions worth of American energy and semiconductor products. Yeah. The European officials were preparing since February, so we were preparing for difficult negotiations on Sunday, so we just sought advice Japanese officials and get a better sense of what to expect. A person familiar with the matter said he learned that discussion, which lasted more than an hour, went beyond several phone and delved into details of the agreement. The European hung out in a hotel in Glasgow on Sunday to discuss what kind of messaging would be most effective in the meeting with the person said. Von der Leyen said several top and trade relations into the meeting, including Seth Kofish. Trump was accompanied in Scotland by Commerce Secretary Howard Segment and Trade Representative Jameson Greer, among others. When he asked for the next focus of trade, he turned his focus back on Europe. Trump turned the focus back. This is the biggest. Yeah, seriously. If y'all get it signed, and I will let you know when it's actually signed and whatever the final is. This is a definitely framework that might be okay because there's a. Trump said EU has agreed to open the country at zero tariff. Von der Leyen said the two have agreed to zero tariff for certain strategic products, including aircrafts, their parts for aircraft, certain chemicals, semiconductor equipment, certain agricultural products, among others. So two others will work to add more products to that list. And that is really the best thing, I think. Means basically whatever we can actually get free trading with both sides, aircraft and the aircraft parts. That is actually good. I mean, imagine American companies, basically what you're saying that you can buy an Airbus without tariff. You should be able to buy an Airbus. I mean, it says including aircrafts and their parts. So you have to actually negotiate with the president on what that means. Because this is non-public. This is a public Wall Street. The actual deal will be non-public. I mean, you haven't signed it there. I'm assuming you're gonna have a signing ceremony once this is it's gonna be a really big deal. And then I mean, either President Trump's gonna fly over to you, or you're flying over to President Trump's. I mean, one of those, whatever you want to decide. And then it'll be a big ceremony. I mean, it might even be a state dinner for Antonio and you. I don't know if they let you have a state dinner if you're just, I don't know, right? Because state dinner is usually for the heads of states. I don't know. I don't know. So, but once we sign this deal, it's a really, really big deal. It'll stabilize the economy for the next 4 years. I mean, the economic certainty for the next 4 years while the president. And this might be the best way America has. I mean, I don't know about the steel tariff. Global standards at 50%, because President Trump is basically trying to convince the steel and aluminum companies in America to invest. Because he might. I mean, if he drops it too low, the steel and aluminum tariffs, then people wouldn't be willing to build those factories. He wants some factories to return to the U.S. And once the factories actually exist, we should be able to drop the tariffs to even the 15%, so that the American steel and aluminum can compete with the efficiencies of Europe. Because steel and aluminum in America is probably not as good because of the unions. We have trade unions. We have unions in the steel and aluminum industry, and those unions in the unions create inefficiencies, right? Because unions want increased labor costs, and we have a problem with energy costs. Because you have clean steel in Europe. You can have solar power steel in Europe. We don't have solar power steel. Solar power is free basically once you make that initial investment. So if you have solar power steel, that is clean steel, and that is an investment. But if we have to use liquid natural gas or some sort of carbon to make the steel, it costs more money. So, I mean, so solar energy from the sun is essentially free as long as you make that initial investment. You eventually you start getting free energy from the sun, basically. So it makes steel. But anyway, so this is the. I mean, see how much time you have. I try to read as much of the article. So it is July 27th, 2025 Sunday. So the thing you don't have to worry about is it's because you're on May, right? Once the tariffs happen, it looks awful for the whole world, right? But it's not gonna be awful. Knowing the future is pretty cool. And everybody in this press conference is gonna be rich. I mean, they're gonna know. Especially if they know that the industry dip is about 20% industry dip, and it's a V shape. I mean, anybody who knows is gonna be rich, so rich. And you probably can't buy. Yeah, you probably can't, because people will find out. I'm recording this and for history's sake. So unfortunately, I mean, hopefully you're already rich enough, Ursula. But everybody who finds out about this, anybody, they will be absolutely rich, ridiculous rich. Because the V-shaped dip on the major industries, the Nasdaq, the S&P, the Dow, and almost every single U.S. industry is hit record highs again. They might be down from the record highs. I haven't checked. So there's no. I mean, there's no recession basically for Europe and America. There's definitely not.
Thank you very much.
Yeah. Anyway, hopefully I did not watch this twice. I hope that because I don't. I mean, YouTube says I didn't watch this twice, so otherwise you'd be hearing from me. So I do not remember Macron ever. So I'm pretty sure I did not see this one. Hopefully I did not see this one. So I mean, you'll hope you'll be okay. So, I mean, okay. Anyway. Yeah. So let me show you something else. You're meeting with the Chinese. What's you're meeting with the Chinese. Oh, this is all playing. Sorry, let me find the other one. Let me find the Chinese meeting. Sorry. There we go. Here's the video for this one I can show
We
you.
are strengthening our
Hi.
economic security and our competitiveness.
Open dialogue with China, EU, China
Meanwhile, we
summit.
remain committed
Streamed 3
to
days
frank,
ago.
respectful and
Yeah.
open dialogue with China, and today's summit provided exactly
Talk to
that.
yourself, yeah.
It was a
I need to be
valuable
careful. Right?
opportunity
Yeah.
to work towards concrete progress in key areas of our bilateral relations.
I don't know how much. This
But
is you
we
talking to
also
yourself. You're
clearly
wearing something white.
explained our concerns to the Chinese leadership.
It's July
particularly
27,
in
2025 for you.
trade
Just
and
do it.
investment. And let me start with this.
Okay. Just
A
talk to
few
yourself.
figures. Today, the European Union accounts for an impressive 14.5% of China's total exports. Yet China only represents 8% of our exports.
Yeah.
These numbers speak to the scale of our relationship,
Trade
but
balance.
they also expose a growing unbalance. It is mostly due to an increasing number of trade distortions and market access barriers. But unlike other major markets, Europe keeps its market open to Chinese goods. This reflects our long-standing commitment to rules-based trade. However, this openness is not matched by China. The European Union's trade deficit with China has doubled in the last decade, reaching more than 300 billion euros by now.
Yeah, that
So
has
we
to be
have
fixed,
reached a clear inflection point. As we said to the Chinese leadership, for trade to remain mutual beneficial, it must become more balanced.
Yeah.
Europe welcomes competition, we like competition, but competition has to be fair. So we raised 3 priority areas where we believe progress is both possible and needed.
Yeah. We still.
The first is market access. Reciprocity is a simple and clear principle in this regard.
I don't know if I don't have that many
At our
videos
summit,
of China.
I referred to the importance of reciprocity in the public procurement, and today we agreed to work on concrete
One
solutions
second. I'm gonna skip.
for that.
Someone's asking a question. 1 second.
Spend it on F-35 US fighter jet. So yes, my question. And secondly, the Ukrainians will sit down with the Americans to start for negotiations. Peace deal. There's something
This talk is just gonna be about trade. I mean, I know.
feel like Kyiv has
Because I don't know if anybody in this audience is a Chinese spy or a Russian spy, possibly. I mean, anyway. Anyway, so I apologize.
Second,
Just I wanted
we
to- yeah.
discussed at length the issue of overcapacity in China's economy.
Dumping, yeah.
You know the crucial sectors like, for example, steel, solar panels, electric vehicles, batteries,
Yeah.
and others.
Arbitrage, right?
Subsidized production does not match the domestic demand in China.
Because if you ship
And
Chinese
therefore,
steel
overcapacity
to
produced
Europe,
here
then you ship
goes
sell
to
that
other
steel.
markets. But the more
That
other
would be a problem,
markets restrict Chinese exports, the greater the risk of trade diversion and pressure on the European Union's
Yeah,
single market.
we have to
And
be
this
careful.
puts
Yeah.
our own industrial competitiveness at risk at a time when we are making significant investments, for example, in clean energy transition. The
Very
Chinese
important, yeah.
leadership
I agree
has
as
started to look into this issue under the term involution and expressed willingness to support more the consumption
Yeah.
and less the production part. This is important. We need to see progress on this issue.
Yeah,
Because
Chinese need
without
to
progress,
consume
it
their
would be
own.
very difficult for
product.
the European Union
You know, they had a housing
to
bubble, right?
maintain
China had a
its
housing
current
bubble.
level of openness.
They lost a lot of.
The third
Wealth.
issue we raised was export controls on rare earth and permanent magnets from China.
The U.S. is supposed to have some
As
sort
you
of
know,
framework
these
for
export
that.
controls have placed significant strain on some European companies to keep trust in our trade relationship. We need reliable and secure supply
I will
of critical
see-
raw materials from China.
I will see if you have
Being
it.
seen as a reliable supplier and partner is clearly
You know about my
aligned with
ability
China's
to
long-term
kill
economic and
terrorists.
strategic interests.
I found a helium
So we
mine,
acknowledge
Ursula, and a
China's
lithium
efforts on
mine in the
fast-tracking
U.S.
licenses for the critical raw materials.
I don't know.
And we agreed, and this is
I don't know
new,
what Andrew Cable
to
is
have
doing
an
with the planet.
upgraded export supply
Because it seems
mechanism.
absolutely crazy,
In other
right? That a
words, if
man
there
can
are
actually.
bottlenecks, this
create
upgraded
a mine,
support supply
altering
chain
the
support
planet.
mechanism can immediately check and solve the problem or the issue that is out there.
Yeah, because if Ukraine
The
has
need to
rare earth
rebalance our
minerals, there
relationships
might be
is even
rare
more
earth
urgent in
minerals
today's
somewhere
context
in
of the
Europe,
global rise of
and
tariffs.
nobody just bothered looking.
As two of the world's largest economies,
But
the European Union and China share
because
the
I can't,
responsibility
I need a
to
partner,
uphold
right?
and
There's somebody
reform
digging in
the
the
global
U.S.
trading
for those
system
lithium mines
so we can keep
and
it
those
open,
and those
fair, and grounded on
helium
rules.
mines. We found helium in the U.S.
This responsibility
Major
also
helium,
extends
if
to
I remember
upholding
correctly.
international norms,
So,
rules, and institutions.
That is
And
something
this
we
is
should
why
definitely
we raise
try.
the critical issue of
Because
China's
you
support
think
for Russia's
that
war
there's no
aggression
rare earth in
against Ukraine.
Europe, is
This
there?
has a direct and
Because we don't
dangerous
know.
impact on Europe's security. And we express together
Because
our expectations
from my Andrew's perspective, the
China
rare
would
earths in
follow up
Ukraine
on our concerns
just pop out of nowhere.
and the expectation that
Like
it will
I've
use
never
its
heard of Ukraine
influence
having rare earths.
to bring
but everybody's
Russia
talking
to
about
accept
Ukrainian
a
rare earths.
ceasefire, to come to the negotiation table,
So if
enter
there's
peace talks,
rare earth
and put an
in
end to the bloodshed.
Ukraine, there might be
How
some
China
other parts in
continues
Europe.
to interact with Putin's war will be a determining factor for our relations going forward.
Yeah. Oh, that you're talking
Finally,
about. Oh, one second.
We
Would you say that
Wait, sorry.
the Trump administration is still on a line, or it's time to confront them in a different way? Thank you.
Well, I can answer that one.
discuss
I can answer that
climate
question.
change.
Andrew's going to be an ally of the
Climate and
European Union, and
environment
I think President Trump is
is
going to
a
be an
big
ally.
step forward.
Started his
Both
administration,
opportunities to work
maybe
closer
Andrew was
together
having some
in
doubts, you know.
sectors such as emission
But
trading,
we got to be a little bit
just
quiet about what they're
introduced
doing
here
with
in
Russia, you
China,
know.
carbon capture and storage,
Right.
the circular economy,
I try my best, you know,
and our
so,
cooperation can set a
to
global
try to
benchmark.
ask Putin
Together,
to do
the
peace.
European Union and China must
he doesn't
uphold
want it,
the
so
Paris Agreement now
If he
more
doesn't
than
want peace,
ever.
then I'm going to have to help the
The
European
European
do
Union
whatever
is
it
doing its
takes.
fair share.
Whatever it takes.
China's climate
Yeah.
ambition matters
Yeah.
immensely.
Yeah.
We're both convinced that the triple planetary crisis of climate, biodiversity loss,
Yeah.
and pollution requires a strong multilateral framework
Plant trees.
And we both
I mean,
want
still the same
COP30
solution.
in
Plant more
Berlin
trees.
to deliver ambitious results.
China has already started to plant trees.
From the summit, I gather that there is a lot
Somebody's asking a question.
Russia's next target is definitely Moldova and Romania.
we
Shit.
can do together.
This woman has a Slavic
despite our
accent, so
difference, and
And
we
Might be
have
too late, so.
differences.
so in the meantime, the European Union is strengthening its defense through rearming Europe. What does this plan mean for non-EU countries as Moldova is, and can we expect even more support from the European Union? Thank you.
We can find
in May,
diplomatic
the UK gave
Europe will always defend its
gave Ukraine
interests
all of
as
itself.
China would.
It's like 89 or something.
We are ready to
Self-propelled
advance
artillery.
bilateral
The
cooperation
barrel has
for
about
a balanced
8,000
and
shots.
stable
So
relationship.
really good
We know the
artillery.
next
So.
50 years are key to
The
China.
Polish, I
relations
think,
will be shaped
Polish
by
general
the choices
or
we
German
make
general
today.
said it doesn't match artillery.
Thank you
I
very
mean,
much.
I'll open the floor for questions. Please
Can you
note
see,
that there's an interpretation provided in English and in Chinese.
Okay,
I'll
let's
start
not
with
talk
the
in
paper.
Chinese too much about the Chinese press will be in here. So it's just this conference, this clip is ending in 5 seconds. So
Thank you. Good evening, President. Question from the
Okay.
paper.
there we go. I know why, because there's Chinese press in there.
View screen. President, it's a bit of a follow-up on Dorota's question. Europe still
Anyways,
buys tens of billions in
Chinese
Russian
yeah, this is the last one. 3 days.
hydrocarbons.
You
And of
interview.
course, we know those.
I don't know if I have enough to. Yeah, you're about to run out soon.
Machine.
100 days.
At the same time, and this is a little bit the 100 days question,
This 100 days.
you
You
have
know.
presided over quite a dramatic rollback of the Green Deal. How, and the Green Deal is of course supposed to
I need to
hasten
read. I mean, I need to write this all down so I absolutely sure when I watch this over again. So,
fossil fuels. So how do you respond to those who
the
say
EU
there's a bit of an incoherence here when it comes to
Summit,
policies on climate, but also on
summit,
security?
3
Thanks.
days. So this press conference in the past is about to end in about 4.5 minutes. So July 27, 2025. I'm gonna write this down that I finished watching so I don't watch it again. You know.
Top of my head, all the figures.
Yeah.
Dependency
Top
on
of my
Russian
head, so-
gas was 45%.
I think it was a Polish general or German generals that said
It was
artillery does more damage than a
75%,
drone
which is quite a big step.
at killing people. So
Dependency on
he said it.
coal
So
was 50%. It's zero,
choosing
and I think oil also.
Choose
was
Europe for
around
science.
50%. Now the figure
for
I know
science
for
conference
sure it's 3%.
conference.
So by that you see a
With the
huge
Macron.
effort. A huge
Let me see the date. It's, that one is May 5th.
If I look at the overall situation of Russia, it's a
That's
mixed
May 5th.
picture. The sanctions are biting and have
We
Yeah.
are strengthening up.
There's,
detrimental effect on the Russian economy. You
So
see
that one, this process is July 24th for the Chinese
Inflation is soaring.
with Antonio. Antonio's doing something.
But what is still a source of income, not
For-
from the European Union, is
And
the oil
finish watching. You
So
are
we see
in
that very clearly.
almost. I mean, you are in
Where improvement
March 9th.
globally,
Okay, March 9th.
should happen. Or we
So
could
don't
have
worry
to-
about when President Trump puts on the tariffs on
No,
April 2nd.
That's a high
I mean, just trust me. Just trust Andrew. Just trust Andrew.
what the European
I mean,
Union is
I would never like it.
concerned,
So this is
very
the
clear
commission
in the Draghi report.
is
There are
ready
3 elements
to
where he's
tackle
very clear on. The first is
today's. I don't know what happens in the European
but the
stock market
second,
when
therefore I'm mentioning it, the big
when
pillar
the
of
when those.
Draghi is
I mean, I assume
decarbonization
probably
of
the same
competitiveness.
thing. Not as bad as the U.S. market. U.S. market lost about 20% when those tariffs and it just about 15 to 20%, and then came back 15 to 20%. That V-shaped dip is very valuable from an investment perspective. So
If you look at the competitiveness compass,
I mean, if you have sovereign funds that can actually buy American call and put options, you would be able to extract money from the United States call option and put option market into the European market. Anybody,
it's one of the big
I mean, it's their own fault.
cornerstones or pillars of this
Ursula, I mean,
I'm
if a
convinced
U.S. company issues the wrong call options and the wrong put options and they lose money because of that, if they're naked call options or naked put options, that is their fault. Whatever money they lose, that is their fault. They should not issue naked call options and naked. Yeah, naked call option, naked put options are options that are issued when you don't own the actual underlying asset. And they do that, they lose the money. That is their fault. And whoever issued that would have to answer to their employers, right? Not our problem. Not our problem. Ursula, so.
Because they know these are going to be the markets
Anyway, good luck on the trade negotiations on Sunday, July 27, 2025. And I will let you know in the video, some other videos, see a whole bunch of other videos. I will let you know the one that you finally sign. Because this is so important. I will try to find something I haven't seen. And it might even not be related to, and I will let you know for sure what the final deal is,
compass.
And hopefully America and you will be doing well in trade. And then
This we conclude our
good
press
luck.
conference.
thank you very much for.
Now in the future is don't have to worry about it. We don't have a recession. I'm pretty sure we don't have a recession. We're not gonna have a recession. The world's not gonna have a recession. So,
Wish you a good.
but a little bit more taxes, and you know,
Meantime, the documents.
it's pretty much the same because it's like you have 5% tariff rate and control at 10%, and then you end up negotiating 50%. It's pretty much what you, yeah, pretty much the same. So hopefully it'll be all okay. I will let y'all know. Let's see. Hopefully everything will be okay.